Good morning, Hampton, 4th grade. Mr. Harris here with another lesson on close reading. Today's lesson is going to be focused on solving unknown words. With today's text, we're going to answer one question together as a class. Then the other question will be a pop question, and there will be a study island assignment for you all under 4th grade Super Squad. Alright, so let's jump into it like we always do. Our first step is to preview the passage, the genre, and the thinking guide. Now this text, I'm not gonna lie, is super straightforward. In our first line we see once upon a time. Because you see this once upon a time, we know automatically that this story is make-believe, so our genre is fiction. Our genre is fiction. If our genre is fiction, our thinking jobs are going to be our characters, our problem, our solution, our lesson learned. So let's go ahead and jump into our text. Alethea's new queen. Once upon a time is so common. It was a time before once upon that is truly remarkable, and so that is a story I shall tell you now. It wasn't very many years ago, and it all happened in a kingdom called Aletheia. I was king, but I was growing old and weary. I sat many years upon my throne, remembering my wife, Queen Annabelle. So we have our main character. So our story is told in the first person, so we can write that down as a fact. First person story. Because you have the words I several times. And our main character is a king. So we can write MC is a king. And MC is short for main character, who is old. And we have another character, his wife, Queen Annabelle. She had been a kind woman and a dear queen. Annabelle had not ever had any children. She died long before me, and so I had no heir to my throne. So we have a word that's underlined. If our word is underlined, then we know that there are two important facts about it. Correct? One is that there's probably a question about it. Two, it's important to understand the rest of our text. So let's go ahead and break this word down. Annabelle had not ever had any children. So she doesn't have any children. And he has no heir to his throne. What do we think the word heir means? Heir, I would say that he has no prince or princess or there is no one to follow after him. And in our sentence after that, it explains it clearly. Nobody was in line to rule my kingdom after I grew old. So we can underline that as well. Find definition for air. There were no little prince or princesses riding ponies in the meadows or playing pranks in the village. I wonder how best to find a new king or a queen to take my place. I spent years pacing up and down the hallways of the palace, pulling at my gray beard, searching all of the places in my mind for an answer. Finally, I had an idea. So, the king has a problem. No heir to the throne. The plan, you see, was simple. I invited all of the children of my kingdom to the courtyard of the palace. Children came from all the villages, near and far, that make up our little kingdom. The courtyard was soon full. There was a small sea of young faces, chins up and eyes sparkling. I stood before them and held up a small seed between my thumb and index finger. So the king is trying to find a new heir. All of you, everyone, will get a small seed like this one, I explained. I would have you plant your seed and give it water daily. Care for it, provide it with warmth and shelter and sunshine. Watch your seed grow into a tall, strong plant. Will it blossom, bloom, and flower? Will it sprout seeds or produce fruit? Return to me a year from this day with your plan. On that day I shall choose the child most fit to rule our kingdom. So, we can write, there was a seed challenge. There was a seed challenge. With that, I passed out a single seed to every child. These seeds were special, as you soon shall see. They weren't ordinary seeds. The children streamed out of my courtyard and back to their villages, ready to try their skill in gardening. They all dreamed of growing a beautiful green plant and being chosen to take over the kingdom. So we can write here, every child in the kingdom had a chance to win. Exactly a year later, the children returned. In the hands of the children were pots. Some were small and others were large. These pots held small shrubs, brushy bushes, and even little trees. There were flowers and fruits. The courtyard was a leafy, rainbow-colored forest of smiling faces. Many of the children returned with flowered plants. All except one little dark-eyed girl. I noticed her in the back, holding a small pot of earth. There was no plant, no spray, not even a sprout in her sad little pot. She wasn't smiling. She had a puzzled look on her face. As the children paraded past me in their line, she came closer to where I stood. Finally, she was in front of me. I stopped the line with a wave of my hand. There was one girl, and we can actually put a C here next to her name for the little dark-eyed girl with a pot of soil. Our kingdom is full of busy gardeners, I see. You have labored and watered, tended and fed, and have created a great garden of plants. But, spoke the little dark-eyed girl, my seed didn't grow. I think you made a mistake. The other children were surprised. They whispered among themselves, looking at her empty pot. A few of them even laughed out loud and began to point at the little girl. The little girl's seed did not grow. No, I said, looking out at the children. She is right. There is no mistake. I gave to all of you a seed, but a seed that had been soaked in strong vinegar. None of your seeds were able to sprout or grow. If you are carrying a plant today, then you must have planted a different seed. You have all bought plants grown with seeds you snuck into your pot. So here, I want to give you all the opportunity to break down the word strong that as it's used in this passage. You can pause the video and look around and use your context clues in order to break down the unknown word strong. Alright, let's jump back into it. The king played a trick on the children. The children were quiet then. What is your name, girl? I asked. Regina, the girl answered. Regina, you shall bring your family to live here at the royal palace, and when you are old enough, I shall retire and you will be our queen. When all the others showed me beautiful lies, you had the strength to tell the plain and simple truth. So here we can write Regina became queen for telling the truth. And we can go back and add that the king playing a trick on the kids was his solution to this problem, because he's trying to find an honest child that would be truthful about their inability to grow the seed. She is Queen Regina now, and the people of Aledia are happy to have her. We are all happily living ever after. We are all living happily ever after. And we can add that our lesson learned comes from Regina, in that honesty is best policy. Alright, so we read our text. Let's answer our question, and then you guys will have an opportunity to look at your pop question. Alright. So the question that we'll be answering together is question number 5, and you will all answer question number 1 on your own as a pop question. Which words from paragraph 2 help the reader understand the meaning of air? Which words from paragraph 2 help the reader understand the meaning of air? A kind woman. B, in line to rule my kingdom. C, died long before me. D, riding ponies in the meadow. Alright, so remember, we defined air as being a prince or princess, no one to follow after him, and nobody was in line to rule my kingdom after I grew old. A kind woman, in paragraph 2 as we saw it, was used to define the queen. The queen couldn't be in air, so we can cross that out. In line to rule my kingdom, that was directly in the sentence that we used to define air. Just put a question mark for now because we have to read through our other choices. Died long before me was in reference to the queen passing before the king died. Riding ponies in the meadows was part of the definition used to describe what a prince and princess would be doing if they were around, but it's not directly related to the meaning of the word here. So we can circle in line to rule my kingdom because it helps us understand the meaning of the word here. Alright? And then our pop question, number 1. Read this dictionary entry. Strong. Adjective. 1. Having great physical power. 2. With great courage. 3. Willful, aggressive. 4. Undiluted, nearly pure. Which definition of strong is used in paragraph 11? A. Definition 1. B. Definition 2. C. Definition 3. D. Definition 4. I'll give you guys a chance to look at paragraph 11 again. You can pause your screens as you look at it. Paragraph 11 here. And then I'll give you guys today's attendance question. Our attendance question for today is, what is the hardest thing about being a kid? Well, y'all, we've reached the end of another video. Thank you again for tuning in. This is our last reading lesson for this week, as we don't have school on Friday with our bad weather makeup day. So I hope you guys enjoy your extended weekend, get to rest up, and come ready, prepared to learn reading again on Monday morning. Bye.